What we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge. This is Exposé coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria, every Monday on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook simultaneously. I'm your regular host, Tony Akinyemi. Don't forget, what we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge. Hello and welcome to Exposé with Tony Akinyemi, brought to you every Monday, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. I'm your regular host and I'm honored to be. I'd like you to please remind your neighbors, your friends, your colleagues, and probably your enemies that Exposé has kicked off this beautiful Monday evening in Nigeria. Wherever you are all over the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whenever you get a chance to watch this later. We just concluded a series on therapeutic gases or medical gases where I laid a solid foundation on the medical application of certain gases, particularly oxygen, hydrogen, and ozone. And I also brought experts to interview them to give us perspectives. I hope you enjoyed all the series, all the episodes in that particular season. So today, being the first Monday of November 2022, I say Happy New Month, and I welcome you to a new season on Exposé. This new season will be a mixed grill. We're going to be talking largely and essentially on fertility in men and women, or if you like, infertility, and how to turn things around. But of course, there is always a foundation for every structure. Now, one of the foundational things in health and wellness, or even in fertility, is detoxification. One of the pieces of advice that I normally give to women in particular when they are preparing to make babies is to get their houses in order. And by your house, I don't really mean the home where you live, I mean your body. Your body is a temple. Your body is a house. How clean your body is on the inside, how well ordered your body is on the inside, we call that homeostasis. When you have balance on the inside, that is where the new baby you are expecting is going to live for the first 9 months of his or her life before coming or emerging for us to see. And the environment that baby grows in the womb, develops in the womb, matters a lot to the ultimate health of that child. Because when your body environment is good enough and the body has a good head start in life, you have laid a solid foundation for a better tomorrow for that child. But when your body on the inside is toxic, is loaded with all kinds of dirts, that becomes a challenge. That's why some children are born with congenital problems. In other words, problems that they came from the womb with. They acquired it right in their first 9 months of life before emerging here. But we can get all of that sorted when you understand some basics. And so the first thing we'll be doing in this series is to talk about detoxification, how to get your inside clean. And there are many aspects of the body that we can actually clean up. Many of us are familiar with environmental sanitation and hygiene. But what many lack is the knowledge and the understanding of internal cleanliness. Many don't know what it means to do a liver cleanse, to do lymphatic drainage, to do colon hydrotherapy or coffee enema, or any other form of detoxification for that matter. And so that's why today we want to focus on discussing the issue of detoxification, particularly as it relates to the colon. And we will call that colon hydrotherapy. So as we talk about detoxification today, I'm honored to have in the house someone who is a practitioner as well as an expert when it comes to colon hydrotherapy or colonic irrigation or colon cleansing. People have different kinds of names that they use. She will give us clarity on all of this as we go on in this interview. And so I'm honored to have in the house Mrs. Folasade Adedeji Orolugbagbe. She will be doing justice to the subject of colonic irrigation, colon cleansing, coffee enema, colon hydrotherapy, whatever name you choose to call it. You're most welcome, madam.
Thank you so much.
We're honored to have you on Exposé.
Thank you for having me, sir.
You're welcome, man. Yeah, we'd like you to talk very authoritatively and very loudly and clearly to this subject. Now, we need to meet you first and foremost. Who is Mrs. Folasade Adedeji Orolugbagbe? Tell us a bit about yourself, a bit about your journey in life, particularly as it relates to this particular topic we're dealing with. You are a colon hydrotherapist.
Yes.
What was your background? Did you study this primarily in your educational journey? Or did you stumble upon it along the way and then you decided to, go along this line? Just let us know how your journey has been in this particular situation.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me. It's a great opportunity to be here. First and foremost, yes, you got my name right. My name is Folasade Adedeji Orolugbagbe, and I'm a trained and certified colon hydrotherapist. How did I find myself here? I started with an health issue. I didn't know what it was. It was just more of a chest pain all the time. But I knew first of all, I have BSc in International Relations from the University of Ife. I graduated in
Great Ife.
1991, yes.
Great Ife.
OAU.
Great. Yes, I attended University of Ife too.
Okay, reading your profile, I think I saw that.
Right.
Okay, so after graduation, I started an event center in GRA Ikeja, Lagos here. And I still had that chest pain, but I didn't know what it was. But I've always been constipated. I go to toilet like maybe once a week.
Wow.
Or maybe thrice in a month.
Amazing.
And it got to a stage that I got scared of eating because I didn't know what it was. But growing up, my granny used to give us pumps water into our rectum, and that makes us go.
Yeah.
When I go to university,
me
too. When I go to university, I didn't follow up with it. And then my first day at university, I sat on the toilet seat thinking I was home. So I had this serious toilet infection, and I ran back home. I came back to school, and it got really bad that I was scared of using the toilet. Mm-hmm. So I used to hold it until I probably go and visit some of my friends that were living in quarters, which is another side of where the lecturers used to live.
Staff quarters.
Staff quarters. So I was save it till I get there. It got really bad. I graduated from university. I served in Abuja, my National Youth Service Corps. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't still go to the toilet. Mm-hmm. I went to one of the best hospitals in Abuja, the Aso Rock Clinic. Mm. And the doctor I met there said I should bring a sample of my stool. I couldn't. It was really bad. So that day I knew that I needed to force something out. I forced something out, and my poo then was like goat pellets. Mm. So I forced something out. They did all sort of tests. They didn't really see anything happening there. I still went on with my life. So long story short, my girls were meant to go abroad for studies. So I said, okay, let me just go with them and probably just check what was going on. And then we traveled to the United Kingdom. From there, I kept going from my general practitioner's office, going back and forth. They were doing all sorts of tests. They didn't see. All they saw was that, okay, they kept giving me laxatives, which is the likes of the omeprazoles, Gaviscon. I was taking all that every day. And they told me I was going to live on that. Well, I went on that for like a couple of years, but I didn't see any difference in the chest pain. And I said, okay. The last time I went to the GP's office, he said, okay, so what do you think we should give you? So when a doctor is asking you that, you know that you are in God's hands. And I said to myself, I said, okay, every time I enter the GP's office, is always typing anyway. I might as well just go home and start my typing myself, which I did. I got home, I typed, and I bumped into this chap in the United States that said, first of all, go and do a test called Helicobacter pylori.
Okay.
I went to my GP, they did the test, and it was positive.
Okay.
So I didn't know what that was then. So I was like, okay, let me continue with this person that at least
gave you
me
a heads up.
Exactly. So I followed up with him, and he said I should go, first of all, I should do a colon cleanse. I didn't know what that was either. And I was like, okay.
And your GP probably didn't know either.
I didn't even bother asking him. I just did the test and ran away. So I took the test to the chap online. And then he said I should do colon cleanse. I went online, I saw an Indian lady, she's my friend now. She's actually my colleague now. I send people to her in the UK. Okay. So she said, she was quite nice on the phone. She said, well, it's going to help me move. It's not going to give me that stagnation that I had. So I said, okay, why not? The first question is it painful? Which we all ask. Is it going to perforate my colon? Is it, I was really scared. But I said to myself, at least somebody knew about it and was giving you information that they had passed through. And usually we're scared of things we don't even understand. But I like to take risk. I said, okay, let me just take that bold step. And I went for it. I did my first colon cleanse, and it came out through a clear tube. I saw everything coming out. It was amazing, and that was it for me. So I got home that day. When I got home, I had headaches. It was headache. I was shivering. I was cold. I didn't even understand what it was.
Do you now understand why that happened?
Yes.
You'll be talking to us about that as we go on.
I will even say what she said. Okay. So I called her in the morning. Early hours of the morning, I was able to sleep a bit, but she had already told me to come back the following day. So I managed all night long with the headaches and the shivering feeling. So I went back the following day, and she did another cleanse. I thought maybe the cleanse we did the day before had cleared off everything. Not knowing that I was just starting. So we did the second cleanse, and what came out, I could not even believe it. There were lots of bubbles coming out. So she was telling me it's trapped gas. I knew that I used to burp a lot and I used to fart a lot. It got so embarrassing that when I go out in public, I'm scared to go close to people so as not to fart. My burp used to have this kind of smell that I didn't understand. So I did the second one, and I got home that night. I slept like a baby. I had not slept like that in a long time. And I felt the pain wasn't there anymore, the headache wasn't there. And I used to have migraines. I've always been a migraine person. So the pain wasn't there anymore, and I felt a lot of relief. So she already told me to come like another week. I called her up in the morning. I said, Sharika, her name is Sharika. I said, please, can I come another day? Because that feeling was just completely it for me. So she said, yeah, I could do 3 days in a row. I did the third one, and then she did some probiotic implants for me. So that was it for me. After I left, I still went back to my old ways of my diet and my lifestyle. But the chap I spoke to in the US said I should get off something called gluten. That gluten and Helicobacter pylori, they don't work hand in hand. So I got off gluten. I used to be a bread lover. Growing up, they used to call me Shadi bread, Shadi butter. So I got off bread. It was hard for me to get off bread. I said, okay, let me go look for alternatives, maybe wheat bread or some other kind of bread. It was still bread. So I still felt that chest pain coming, but the congestion was a bit better. So after a month after, I still felt that congestion back because I was still doing the same diet on my bread and things made from flour, the meat pies, etc. But I said to myself, I said, look, you now know that you react to these things. Just get off it. So I got off, and I was doing my cleanse like monthly. And then she didn't even introduce coffee enema to me. But apparently in her machine, she was putting some bit of coffee that I didn't even know. But she was putting some herbs too as well. And that was helping me to move. So I used to go to her like monthly until I got to a stage that I could go on my own.
Wow.
I now go like 2-3 times a day. So it's amazing. So I now went back to her like after a month or 2 months after, and I said, come, I need to learn about this thing. She said she doesn't train, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I went online, spoke to the chap in the US. He said I should come to the US, that he does the training. I said, well, I don't want to do the US. Let me just do the UK that I am. So I researched and I bumped into this lady in Maidenhead outside London. She now told me to go on their website, the website of RICTACT, which is the International Register of trained colon hydrotherapists and trainers. So I went in there, I saw that I could train. I did the training. They told me I was going to do anatomy and physiology. My background is international relations. I've always been an event planner. Anatomy and physiology. I said, okay. There's no harm in trying. And she told me it was going to be online. I did the training. Yes. Wow. I did the training online for 2 weeks, but she said we were going to come to class afterwards. Well, I tried. I did a lot of I could do with anatomy and physiology online. Then we went back to class, and we did that for like 10 weeks. And another couple of like 2 months afterwards, just to learn more of the structural body of the body. We did that. Then afterwards, we did the colon cleanse training itself for 8 days. And that was it. That was my journey to being a colon hydrotherapist. And afterwards, I said to myself, I need to bring this thing back to my country to help someone that was not aware of such thing existing. It's a lot in the UK, it's a lot in the US. And I read about it, I didn't see any in Lagos, Nigeria. And I said to myself, this is something I think would work in my country. So that's my brief journey to being a colon hydrotherapist.
So this whole thing arose from your personal experience, your personal journey of health.
Right.
And now there is the outcome. I have been helped. I want to help others.
Absolutely.
I mean, sometimes we lose some of these things that our grandparents and parents practiced, maybe in a more primitive way, but that were very helpful. But because when you are talking about your mom helping with...
my grandmother.
Is it grandmother now?
Yes.
Okay, good. My mother, I was born abroad.
Okay.
I can tell
abroad where?
Ghana.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. At least not in Nigeria.
Exactly.
I was born abroad in Ghana. Now, when we lived in Ghana, I mean, I was 8.5 years old before my parents brought me to Nigeria for the first time. When we were in Ghana, I still remember my life in Ghana as, I mean, under 9, under 10, you know. In Ghana, the village where we lived was so small, not even a dispensary was there.
Wow.
Nothing. No police station, no clinic, no hospital, no doctor, no nurse, no pharmacy, no pharmacist. Wow. Nothing. We had only one primary school, one modern school, and we had, I think if I recollect correctly, 3 churches. We had the Methodist church, we had a Roman Catholic church, and then we had the White Garment Church. Those were the institutions that existed. So it was a very, I mean, I'm talking of the 1960s now. And so the only way that my mother took care of us, and she had many of us. My mother, by the way, had 9 children. Had 7 of them while we were in Ghana, or 7 of us, I should say. And so you can imagine a woman with 7 children, and she had to take care of them. She had to become a nurse and a doctor and a pharmacist, all rolled into one. So she would go and get some of these herbs, make them into this whatever, and then put it into this enema bulb, so to speak, and through our anus, pump it in. And we would have colon cleanse. If we were constipated, we would poo. That was how she took care of us. You know, I was 8.5, like I said. I had 3 older siblings, and then I had some younger siblings. And all of us, she was taking care of us like that. But then, you now come to modern times, and we begin to look at those things as very primitive, archaic, you know, things that we have lost almost completely. Suddenly now, they have been modernized, as it were, and now they're coming back to us, which is heartwarming anyway. We thank God that we can still benefit from, what those things can bring. So, good. Now, you mentioned quite a number of things, and I'll be taking you up one by one on some of those things as we go. The way things are going, it doesn't appear as if we're going to be able to conclude our conversation today. We may have to have another episode. But let's see how far we can go. I want us to go into a little bit of history. I'm sure with your training and background and experience, you have a lot of information as to the history of colon hydrotherapy. I have just shared my own experience as a child. I have not been trained formally to be able to administer it, but I'm aware a little bit of the background, at least from the 1960s to date.
Right.
Now, tell us, as an expert, as a trained person, the history of colon hydrotherapy in the world, globally, generally. Right.
Thank you, sir. Like Hippocrates said years back, it all begins in the gut. So that has been on for quite a while. Hippocrates and Galen were recognized fathers of medicine then. And the Egyptians too used to use them as cleansing in the Egyptian days, as in the 1500 BC. They used to use that in their sanatoriums, and sanatoriums are like health spas, and they used to use them in hospitals as well. And it's not a new thing as people think it is. In the US, it's been on for quite a while now as well. It's been popular in the US. It's popular in the UK as well. Even NHS recognizes it as a form of to start a treatment.
Okay.
They used to add it to our NHS before, but all of a sudden, I think it was quite pricey for them, and they now had to take it out. So it now became like a private thing. In Australia as well, it's very popular. They usually use the system called the open system. So you just go in there, you go chuck the thing in your rectum, do your thing, and leave. So a colon cleanse has always been an opportunity to kickstart whatever ailment or just a lifestyle for some, especially the Egyptians, the Americans, the Australians, and like I said, UK has started it for a while as well. And to be honest with you, when I came into Nigeria, I was actually shocked that it was here, because I thought I was just going to be the first person bringing it in.
Okay.
But when I came in, I saw that a medical doctor was even doing a colon cleanse. 2 medical doctors actually, and two other colon hydrotherapists were on ground.
Okay.
So it's becoming popular to here.
Yeah.
So it's not a new thing in the world. It's always been.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, when you did your own colon cleanse, you were talking about chest pain and some other symptoms. Did they resolve?
Yes.
Was it the only thing you did, or it was part of a combo?
It was like a kickstart.
Okay.
It was, first of all, I was constipated.
Right.
And constipation is stagnation.
Right.
So I wasn't moving. And I had hemorrhoids.
Okay.
That led to hemorrhoids because I was training.
Yeah.
And I always come out bloody every time I go into the toilet. And so it was like a kickstart for me.
Okay.
And the lady too advised. She said, you can't go back to your old ways.
Right.
And like I said, after the 3 sessions, I went back to my old ways. And I went back to the same issues that I was going through. So
You went back to Sade bread.
Sade butter.
Sade butter. Okay.
So I went back to my bread because bread was something I could not let go. So I tried all sorts of bread. I tried gluten-free bread. I tried wheat bread, sourdough. It wasn't working for me. But I still slammed it with butter and all the likes. But I still went back to my bread. So I supported it with my diet and my lifestyle. I was exercising. I didn't understand that exercise could
also help your peristaltic movement.
Exactly. I didn't understand all that then. But I was doing it just so that I could see a difference.
Okay.
But I did it more when I knew that I was planning to go for the course.
Okay.
And that helped me greatly.
Because you couldn't be telling others to do what you weren't doing.
Exactly.
Okay, it's a good place to go on a short break right now. When we come back, we'll continue this beautiful conversation. It's getting more and more interesting. Don't go away. Don't forget, what we need is not more medication, but more education. For the best prescription is knowledge. We'll be back shortly.
Discover fundamental truth that will transform your health and empower you to live a life void of sicknesses in this new book by Reverend Tony Akinyemi, Nature vs. Nurture. Get a copy to experience it for yourself. Please visit TSS Bookshop now to grab a copy.
Welcome back. This is still Exposé with Tony Akinyemi. We have on set today Mrs. Folasade Adedeji Orolugbagbe. And she's been talking to us about colon hydrotherapy. She has told us her own journey, her experience, and her personal experiences with colon hydrotherapy, the benefits that she has derived. And she's still shedding more light and giving us perspective as far as this beautiful subject is all about. Now, you were talking the other time about the fact that when you were bringing this technology, as it were, into Nigeria, you thought you were going to be the first. But then you came, you found that some medical doctors are actually really doing it and some other hydrotherapists. Now, would you say that this service can be found in most cities in Nigeria today? How widespread is this service? How available in Nigeria? That's one. Two, how aware are Nigerians of the availability of this service and the benefits? We'll be going to the benefits later, but I want you to talk about the awareness now in Nigeria. How many hydrotherapists are available in Nigeria today? Do you have a registry or a register, I should say, of colon hydrotherapists in Nigeria? In what cities are they available? How widespread are they? And how aware are Nigerians about the availability of this service and the benefits of this service? How aware are they of this?
Thank you, sir. The awareness, I could say that Nigerians are health conscious nowadays. Mm-hmm. We're beginning to take the bull by the horn. I am amazed when I have clients come in that are male, because male usually gets a bit skeptical that I'm going to get something stuck up my butt. They don't even want to hear that. Mm-hmm. And,
I'll tell you an experience of a particular person, a PhD holder, you know, and he was having this same issue you described, constipation, very chronic and acute one, and he had gone everywhere. He couldn't be helped. And somebody directed him to see me. So the moment he shared his experience with me, I knew that colon hydrotherapy was going to help him. So I referred him to one of the medical doctors I know who does colon hydrotherapy right here in Adeni Jones in Ikeja. And, you know, he went home and told his spouse that this is what Reverend Tony told me to do. And the wife said, "You ain't going nowhere."
Can you just imagine?
You know, he himself was very concerned. He got back to me and said, my wife said no, and that even me, I'm afraid, and this and that. I said, look, do you think I will ask you to do something that will hurt you?
Yeah.
I said, this is what I have done myself a couple of times. You know, I've done it. I started doing it first in the USA, and that was where I first got introduced to it. And then I found out that it's available in Nigeria, and I've done it in Nigeria here. I said, please try it. Let your wife follow you there. and she will see things for herself. Maybe she will become a believer, you know. And I mean, finally, I was able to persuade him. He went, and I said, "How was your experience?" He said, "Oh, wow, it really helped." You know?
Fear of the unknown.
That's right. So please, sorry for cutting you in.
No problem at
now
all.
We're talking about how
Awareness.
widespread in Nigeria, how aware are Nigerians? Okay.
Okay, so when I came in, I thought I was the only one, like I said. So I was caught in between opening up a space on the mainland or on the island. And of course, I had lots of ideas, go to the island. I was new to the environment. I said, okay, and people were like, the island will sell better. I'm like, really? I'm not even here about selling. I'm here about helping somebody that needs to do the same thing, go through the same
that's
journey.
The new Lagos.
Exactly. It's all about money making. So I actually wanted to go to the remote areas like Ogba. I'm sorry, I don't mean it like that. But I mean where the crowd is larger. That's where I actually wanted to go.
Yeah.
And but one way or the other, I just found myself on the island. And when I came in, of course, I started doing my research. I noticed that there was someone in GRA Ikeja, a medical doctor, another medical doctor on Adeniyi Jones. That got me excited that at least medical doctors were aware. So I went to see one of them. I went to meet both of them, and I told them I was a colon hydrotherapist and I was on the mainland. I wanted to collaborate with them, and they didn't mind. So I said, okay, because sometimes I might have some clients that are on the mainland. It's best for me to just say. And the main reason I went in there was just to see if they were certified.
Okay.
Because usually I tell people, if you are going for a colon cleanse, if you don't see a certification, don't go in there.
Right.
So I know that there's another person in Abuja, and someone reached into my DM last week that she does colon cleanse in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
But I asked a few questions and she hasn't responded to me. So I don't know if it's for real.
Okay.
I didn't go to the one in Abuja as well. I've not been there, but I know the kind of machine they use.
Okay.
Because I've referred clients in there.
Right.
So I know that in Nigeria, I can count like just 5 of us. And I know that we need more. Because I have a lot of my clients coming in from the mainland, coming in from, I have 2 clients that fly in from, one comes in from Abuja, one comes in from Warri.
Wow.
So
just 5 in Nigeria?
Just 5. And
this is a new field that people can begin to go into.
Yes. Out of the 5, let me say the lady passed on about over a year ago.
Oh, no.
Yes, I was even going to meet her too. The week I booked an appointment, I heard she passed on.
Oh, no.
So we're not much around here, but there's an awareness.
Okay.
At the moment now, my demand is more than my supply.
Oh.
I found out that today I had like 3 people that wanted to come in the morning. I said, no, today is out of it. After my interview here, I have like 2 clients. I had to cancel them because I don't know how long this is going to take me. And I'm on the island, so I said, okay. So the demand for colon hydrotherapy is high in Nigeria now. A lot of awareness. People have heard about it, or from referrals. Somebody that has come into my space and say, oh, this helped me. I can move now.
When you say I can move, make it clearer.
Okay, I mean there's motility, bowel movement. Okay. I can move in my bowels are moving.
Okay.
I feel fresher, I feel lighter, I feel as if I'm on top of the world. We'll talk more of that when we get to the benefits.
Okay.
So there's a bit of awareness. A lot of people are coming in every day. I had someone call me yesterday. He says he's always having malaria. And I said, okay, so what's the cause of your malaria? He doesn't really know what it is. I said, okay, first of all, who told you to go and do a colon cleanse? Why would you think my malaria has got to do with my colon being clean? So he called me yesterday and I said, okay, I'll call him today and ask for more questions. Because I like to dig deep down.
Right.
Why do you think because you have arthritis, you are going to have to clean your colon? Somebody must have given you some kind of information. Okay. So there's a bit of awareness here now.
Yeah, in Nigeria now, right. We'll still talk about the safety and the contraindications along the line when we get there.
Right.
But the next thing I want you to highlight for us, from your research, from your training, and from your experiences working with clients, what are the benefits of colon hydrotherapy? And how many medical conditions have you seen that colon hydrotherapy has contributed to their resolution? Maybe like the person who had malaria the other time, after a colon cleanse, did it help in resolving the issue? Are there standalone, are there things that colon hydrotherapy alone can resolve, or in combination with other forms of protocols will help to resolve?
Okay, first and foremost, I'll say that we're in a world now that you don't have to depend on your doctor. You are the doctor. The doctor is a facilitator. Nobody's
Right.
saying you should not go to the doctor. Doctors have their place. The doctor is a facilitator. You go home and you
In
do
fact, the
your...
word doctor means coach
Exactly.
or teacher.
It's a facilitator. So
Yeah.
when he tells you you have high blood pressure, what are you doing back home at home? When you feel that whatever sensation you feel, do you call your doctor all the time? He tells you, take your medication, sleep well, eat, drink, water, hydrate, exercise, and then you go home. You're not exercising. You're not doing any of that.
Compliance.
Exactly. And you're still calling the doctor. If I was your doctor, I'll tell you, please don't call me, sir.
You know the Chinese have a proverb. They say, he who takes medicine but neglects diet and lifestyle simply wastes the time of his doctor.
Absolutely. So if I were your doctor, I won't even listen to you. Have you done all the homework I gave you? I give my clients homework as well.
Okay.
We'll get to the homework side later.
Right.
So what are you doing in terms of taking care of your health? You hear something, you run for it. Don't wait. Don't wait till somebody says yes. And that's the, I don't want to say Nigerians, that's the mindset of a lot of human beings. When they tell you about something, you say, you go first. You be the guinea pig, you go first. Like I have couples, they come in. They usually send their wife to go first. And then the wife goes and says, okay, yes, I think I did well, now you can go.
Oh, wow.
You know,
So the wife is the sacrificial lamb.
Exactly. So colon cleanse.
What men do, eh?
What you men do. So like you said earlier, colon cleanse, they call it colon hydrotherapy, colonic irrigation, colon cleanse, colon hydrotherapy. They are all one and the same. They all mean the same thing, as long as the colon is there. And then the simple definition of that is that, I would say, colon hydrotherapy, your colon and hydrotherapy. So that's
Hydro means water.
Exactly, it means water. Your
So
colon is
colon,
there.
water, therapy.
Exactly. So water is going into your colon. So the benefits of colon cleanse for me that has helped me is that it has helped me to move my bowels regularly. And we don't need stagnation. Why do I need to have accumulated fecal matter in my...
There was a particular study that was done. Sorry for cutting
No
in
problem,
again.
sir.
Yeah. When they found people who, they did autopsies of people who had died. And for some of them, they found fecal impaction, hardened stool that was clinging to the wall of their colon. When they pulled everything out, the colon was weighing over 10 kg.
Wow.
And that's what they've been carrying around for years. Probably that contributed to their disease and their demise.
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry for breaking you.
No problem, sir, no problem.
All right.
I liked that we're even talking together. You're even giving me more information. So, like I said, he helped me to move my bowels. I was stagnant. Stagnation leads to inflammation. Inflammation is like irritant to your body, to other parts of your body. So you don't need that stagnation. That's why God created us to go to the bowel, to make a bowel movement, at least a bowel movement a day. A lot of us, we eat like 2-3 times a day, and then we go once. I tell you, when you come to my space, you do the maths yourself. You come in, you eat like 3 times. I eat like an average of 5 times. I'm always speaking, and I don't eat full. I'll eat in bits and bobs. So you do the mathematics yourself. You eat like 3 times. And then the following day after digestion, you go once. So where are the other 2 going? You're hiding it or keeping it for what? For Christmas, you know? So it helps with motility, the bowel movement to move. It helps with boost your immunity. That immunity thing has been on since COVID. So when you're clear, you're moving well, and it helps with, we don't claim it helps with weight loss. And the reason being that when we say it helps with weight loss, you start rushing to us to and not do any other thing. But I can assure you that it helps with waste loss.
Waste loss.
Waste loss.
Yeah, so the waste product held up in your system, you lose the waste.
Exactly.
Good.
So
And of course, if 10 kg of fecal impassion leaves the body, the weight of the person drops.
So the waste, even the trapped gas,
right.
You know, sometimes the gases are there, and then you're farting a lot, you're burping a lot, and then they tell you to come in for a colon cleanse. They're just going to shock something up there, and you're scared. So it helps with waste loss. It helps with the gut flora in your colon to be balanced. It helps to rehydrate your colon. A lot of people find it hard to drink water, especially elderlies. They find it hard to drink, consume water. They tell them drink like 5 glasses. Somebody cannot even finish one whole bottle of water in a day. So it's like hydration of the colon as well. And just to name a few, I can tell you that colon cleanse is it.
So you would recommend it as one of the items that anybody, irrespective of what they're going through, can do as an adjunctive kind of therapy to support whatever other treatments they're doing.
Yes, absolutely. Usually I joined a group that like a diet and lifestyle group.
Okay.
And they do more of exercises and juices.
Okay.
So usually for a program like that, we always say kickstart it with a colon cleanse. Clean your inside first. Then you can start adding, so that you can absorb your nutrients.
Yeah.
Your nutrients.
If this bottle were to be filled already, then nothing new can come in.
Exactly. And you cannot even absorb anything.
Yeah.
You are trying to take a juice or trying to take a smoothie, and you still see that you are still weighty.
Yeah.
You are not even losing anything. So just clear that out first. Then we have a lot of people coming that have congestion.
Okay.
Why are you congested? There's obviously you've done some, and you're not even moving.
Yeah.
And you feel that is not a problem. I've had a client before that came in and the doctors had to like stick it out and get him. They even told him he was going to do surgery. And I told him, I said, come, let's do a colon cleanse first. Of course, when I got into the rectum, I noticed fecal matter. A lot of fecal matter coming out. So I said, no, I can't even do you. It's too much. It's gotten to the edge of your anus. So we need to do something. So the first thing I did was I told him, go and get a sitting position in my toilet. He sat down with a sitting position. And then a few came out. So that was when I was able to introduce. I started with an enema.
Okay.
An enema is a smaller tip. So I just hydrated that place. So I didn't keep it on for a while. I just put a few water. It goes to the toilet. So we did that back and forth for a while. I said, see what you've been keeping in your colon for this long, and then you're scared. So when you come to my space and then you're asking me, is it painful? Is it? And you have issues. Come on. Okay.
Is surgery not painful?
Exactly. I just tell them, I say, you know what, just go for surgery. Instead of just coming and I'll just fill you up with water.
Right.
You know, but there's a lot of people that are doing the right things nowadays, so to say.
Yeah, quite a number of things from what you said. You mentioned gut flora. I got you on that one, and I want to shed more light. I know what gut flora is, but probably not all our viewers do. Okay. So what is gut flora, and what are the benefits of repopulating it?
Okay. When you come for a colon cleanse, we clear there is the good and the friendly bacteria in your gut. So when you come for a colon cleanse, usually there is a reason why you came. Like I said, maybe inflammation, something going on, maybe things as mild as I can't concentrate or I get tired easily. Why is that? When you now tell them clean your gut, they're like, okay, what do I need to clean my gut? Like I said, it's an environment that is full of the good and the friendly bacteria. But in most cases, while you're inflamed, probably the bad bacteria is more than the good. So when you come in and you do a colon cleanse, we clear off the friendly and the unfriendly bacteria. And then we
repopulate.
Exactly. We give you something to get back the good bacteria because you need more of the good bacteria. So your gut wall needs to be clean at all times. Let me just put that in short.
Right. A study I read said that the flora in our gut should maintain at least 80% of the flora should be good bacteria.
Yes,
absolutely. At least 80%. Not more than 20% bad. Once there's a shift in that ratio, that's called dysbiosis.
Yes.
Right. So, which means colon cleansing can actually help to restore balance or homeostasis when it comes to your gut flora, the bacteria in your digestive tract, particularly in your colon. And the bacteria, by the way, also benefit us as they
Right.
benefit from us.
Right.
Because there is a symbiotic relationship that we enjoy with these invisible creatures.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
One study I looked at said they actually produce a lot of vitamin B12
Yes.
and vitamin K2
Yes.
for us while they feast on our own waste products. So we feed them and then they pay us back.
Right.
So which means if somebody has low level of friendly bacteria, the person may be deficient in B12, may be deficient in K2, which have implications. Right. Anyway, thank you very much. They've been signaling me that this is how far we can go for this particular episode. We still have a long way to go. I hope we won't have to do 3 episodes. But thank you so very much for the light you have shared and the information you have shared today. We will have to tie it up here. We want to thank all our viewers for spending your beautiful Monday evening with us. We look forward to seeing you on the same platform next week on Monday, 8 p.m. Nigerian time on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. In case you are yet to like us on Facebook, please, I tell folks, even if you don't like my face, please like me on Facebook. All right. And then on YouTube, if you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, just click on that subscribe button and then also give us a thumbs up and also like us on YouTube as well and share this video with your friends, your family. I'm sure they will highly benefit from the information that we have been given today. Before we finally sign off, I'd like Mrs. Orolugbagbe, Adedeji Orolugbagbe, to please go ahead and tell us about her contact, her website, her telephone contact, email address, your office location in Lagos, Nigeria, and any other piece of information that you think will be relevant to our viewers.
Okay, for my office address, I don't give it out like that because I work by appointment only.
Okay.
So when you make a booking online, my email address is colonixlagos@yahoo.com.
colonixlagos@yahoo.com. colonixlagos@yahoo.com.
And my website is
Right.
www.colonixlagos.com. And my phone number is 0809-781-7337.
One more time.
0809-781-7337. And I'm based in Oniru, which is between Lekki and Victoria Island.
All right. And how long does a session last if somebody comes in for a session?
A session is, I usually slot 1 hour for every of my clients. And this is because we do like a 10 minutes questionnaire when you come in,
Okay.
like a consent form as well. And then the session, colon cleanse session itself is 45 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. This is how far we go today. Be blessed and have a beautiful week ahead of you. And bye-bye.
Discover fundamental truth that will transform your health and empower you to live a life void of sicknesses in this new book by Reverend Tony Akinyemi, Nature vs. Nurture. Get a copy to experience it for yourself. Please visit TSS Bookshop now to grab a copy.